Okay, we're on the line with Lizz Toledo, and Liz is a coordinator of the People's Power Assembly in Atlanta. And Liz was just witness to a harrowing experience involving the racist police uh, terror in an IHOP, where she was just with her family, trying to relax. And of course, you get being black or brown in this country, it's only a matter of time when racism pops up its ugly head and lets itself be known. And that's what happened to Liz and her family at an IHOP. And I wanted to see, Liz, if you wanted to, tell us what happened.
All right. Thank you so much for having me and keeping the attention on this very, very disturbing attack on our people once again by a racist police department. My family and I were like enjoying a dinner out after having been at a concert on March 30th because it was a Saturday going into Sunday morning, March 31st. So it was my mother-in-law's birthday. We had taken her to see the Temptations and the Four Tops. And afterwards, we wanted to go and get a bite to eat. So we decided to go to the local IHOP around there in Marietta, Georgia. We were just getting ready to start leaving. We finished eating. So it was already probably into the 31st. We finished eating and we heard a voice that was saying, and I later found out that he was Renardo Lewis, but at the time I just heard his voice loudly saying to our manager, well, why didn't you tell us this 20, 30 minutes ago? Why didn't you say something before now? And the manager that he was speaking to had already been rude to my spouse at our table, to my partner at our table. They had gotten into a dispute about bacon at our table and a bacon omelet that my partner wanted. And so they had gotten into a dispute about that. And when the manager walked away from that dispute, a little while later, I heard Renardo's voice saying, why didn't you say this to me 20 or 30 minutes ago? And as we were moving towards the door, I could hear the manager say something about bacon. And, we started to joke in my family, oh, no, he's having another bacon episode. Renardo said, but what are you talking about bacon? I don't want any bacon. I never asked for any bacon. I don't even eat bacon. And at that point, his wife was coming out of the bathroom, and his wife said, what's going on? And Renardo told her, this guy's over here telling me something about bacon. He's saying they're not serving anybody. And this after we've been sitting here waiting all this time. And, I don't know why he's talking to me about bacon. I don't even eat bacon. You know that, babe. So she said, you know what, let's wash all of this. Just give me your name and number. This is not the way you treat customers. We own a restaurant, so we know how you treat customers. This is not how you treat customers. Give me your name and number and we're just gonna leave. And the manager said, I don't have to give you nothing. And then she turned to a waitress, I guess, and the waitress said the same thing. I don't have to give you anything. And so then she said, well, all right, just give me corporate phone number and we're just gonna go ahead and leave. And again, they refused to do that. And then the police walked in, and it was a male cop and a female cop that walked in, so obviously somebody had called them. I don't know when they called because they were like, they're really fast. And so then the male cop started moving towards Renardo and his wife and immediately started yelling and screaming and saying, shut up, shut up, shut up. And Renardo was like, why are you talking to me like that? Why are you yelling at me? You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to holler at me. I'm a man just like you're a man. You don't have to holler at me. And the cop started yelling some more. And then the cop said, show me some respect. And Renardo said, you show me some respect. You walked in here acting all loud and aggressive. You show me some respect. And then the female officer grabbed Renardo and pulled him over to the side, and they were having a conversation. And the male cop started continuing talking with Renardo's wife, Lubreeze, and they were standing there talking, going back and forth, and Renardo's talking with the female cop. And then about 3 other cops came in. They looked to me like they were surrounding him. They started to surround him. One of them asked Renardo for his ID, and Renardo started to pull out his wallet and then was pulling out his ID from his wallet. And the male cop started yelling at his wife at that precise moment again, and Renardo turned, to say, "Hey, why are you yell? See, he continues to yell again. Why is he yelling? Why is he continuing to yell?" And that's when they grabbed him and slammed him up against the window. I thought for sure that window was gonna crack and splatter all over the place, but it didn't. It was pretty hard, and I don't know where, whether his head or something hit it, but it was pretty hard. You could hear a very loud thump, and we all started screaming, and he started screaming, saying, "What are you doing? I didn't do anything. What are you doing?" And we all were screaming, "He didn't do anything. What are you doing? Stop, stop." And they just continue to, grab him and pull him, and they pulled him across the little hallway over to where the other wall was, and they knocked out a picture from the wall, and they started trying to push him down to the ground, and he started saying, "I'm gonna sit down, just wait, I am sitting down, I'm trying to sit down." And the wife said, "He's trying to sit down, you don't have to do anything, he's not resisting arrest or anything, he's trying to sit down." And the cop just pushed her out of the way really rough, and my sister stepped in and said, "Why are you pushing her? Don't push her." And they pushed her out of the way really rough. And then the original cop that came in and started yelling pulled out his taser and started tasing Renardo over and over again, probably about 5 or 6 times. We're all screaming, we're all freaking out, we're all like, "Stop it, stop it, what are you doing? He's not doing anything." And then the cop put his taser back and started punching him in the head, just punch him in the head over and over again. And this, you can see it all on video. He was not resisting, he was not being threatening, he was not doing anything. He kept saying, "I'm sitting down, I'm following your instructions, what are you doing? I didn't do anything." And they just continue to escalate and get viciously violent more and more with him. We were all screaming. Everyone is just completely traumatized as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Even though we see this often in our communities,
Yeah.
it just never, you can never just, get used to it, to the violence and the hatred and the, I don't know, I mean, the evil that they bring down on us.
We're very fortunate to have someone, one of the brave, very brave people who withstood this police assault. And it was assault on her husband, Renardo, and assault on the people who were there. And hopefully you weren't injured in because we saw the video and just saw how rough they were handling everyone, in addition to the terror and the punching and kicking and all this kind of stuff that was going on against Renardo. So would you just let us know a little bit about what was going through your head when this was going on?
I basically I was just so confused because of the way everything went down. I could not understand what was going on. I thought that they were about to kill my husband. You will never understand how this feels unless you're there to actually see it and go through it, because I thought at one point they were just going to kill him, and this thing I would have been doing a visual and not just sitting here speaking on behalf of my husband. We would have been at a visual. That's where I was at that point in time. I thought that they were about to kill my husband. That's all I could tell you at that time. That was what was going through my head, that they were going to kill my husband.
Oh, so sorry you had to endure that. But it really shows the actions of yourself and Liz and others in there. It really showed that this could have gone another way, and luckily you all didn't back down, and it kind of made them put some pause on them. And thank goodness. So that's one victory. He's and that he's his life was spared because of the you all. Yeah, not because of the pigs, I know, but because of the militants of you all. It's interesting because I went on the Cobb County the police, the Marietta, Georgia cop website, Facebook page. They were saying this thing about, well, it was all because they wanted some bacon. And as Liz was saying, that was actually not the case. That's the bacon situation had to do with Liz and family, but they were trying to say that all this was just about you needing bacon. And then I saw on Fox News that they said that one of the cops said that he had threatened to kill everyone in the restaurant, but you don't see any of that on the video. You don't see any of that in his mannerisms. Liz says she didn't see it. Why are they saying things like that?
The only thing that I can think of, Liz then were there before we came. When we entered the restaurant, he was just coming in to place a to-go order. So I'm not sure where the bacon incident came from with us, because we had nothing to do with bacon. All we were ordering was an omelet, and we did not want bacon in our omelet. We just asked for an omelet. So I'm not sure whether they just tied it in together. I'm not sure why they brought up bacon. But they wanted to try to tear down my husband and I guess make it seem as if he was something he's not by saying that. And my husband doesn't really eat bacon like that. So I don't understand where the bacon situation came from. But what I do know is that the stuff that they are putting out and trying to portray my husband as, he's nothing like that. He is the total opposite of everything that they're saying. He is the total opposite of how they're characterizing him. And I just want people to know my husband is a businessman. My husband is a hard worker. He's a great husband. He's a father, and he tries to do so many different things for the community.
Yeah, I think that's clear in the video too. You can see that he's trying to reason with these people, and right before they bang him against the wall, he's just mentioning that you're being yelled at, and there's no violence, no nothing going on until they perpetrate it.
It was a very traumatizing experience for Lubreeze and for everybody who experienced it and watched it. And no matter how many times, because we may see it on TV when it's happening, and somebody else is recording how some of these police officers deal with our communities. We may see it on TV, but when you're there live watching it and recording it and watching it, it's no matter how many times you may see it on TV, no matter how many times you may experience it, it's re-traumatizing over and over and over and over again. This has to stop. It's got to stop. Just the next day, a young man in Atlanta, Oscar Kane, was killed by a police officer in Atlanta. And the police officer is claiming that his cam stopped working, that it didn't work. As he is claiming that Oscar pulled out a gun to try to kill him. But yet they found no gun anywhere, and now he's dead. This was another activist here in Atlanta who got killed the same day, because it was the 31st, but in another county in Atlanta. It's just going to continue to grow and continue to happen. And I am so glad that, Lubreeze and her family are not just going to sit down and take this and act like, they don't have any power, because the power they have and the seeds that they have planted in the community there, was shown by all the people that came out on Saturday to demand justice for Renardo. That shows what kind of people they are. That shows what kind of family they are. That shows that, they're not just going to sit around and walk away and not stand up for their kin, And I commend Lubreeze, because she has pretty much been out there on her own, not being afraid. This is not my spouse. Granted, I'm an activist, but this is not my spouse. Lubreeze has been out there being the face for her husband from day one, has not given up since day one, has demanded justice since day one. And it's because of that strength and that power that the rest of the community has been willing to come out and stand for her and stand for Renardo.
Yeah, I saw that demonstration last Saturday. I saw on Facebook and things like that, and it looks like a really powerful demonstration there. And I heard they even shut down they didn't open the IHOP because they knew y'all were coming, and a Saturday's a busy day. And it's kind of like the same. Last week we had an action over here as well. I was part of an action at the IHOP in solidarity, at the same time, and the reaction to people when we have a flyer and it's just talking about what happened and people are looking at it, and it seems to be getting a lot of attention. Just wanted to let you know that not only nationally is this getting attention, internationally, there was a solidarity message sent from the area in the Ukraine, Donbass, and said calling for justice for Renardo. So this is
Wow.
Their eyes are upon this thing, and it seems like, in every case I've known, it seems like the more eyes that are on these cops, the better for justice, because they know it's not isolated. They know what they're doing is being watched. So it's just wanted to encourage. I know you all are doing something every Saturday or something at an IHOP. Was wondering if it's a good thing for other people to do that as well. What you all thought about plans, what people can do in regards to this.
Well, we're asking people, number one, to call the DA's office and to demand that, he be released and that all charges be dropped. We're also asking people to call the IHOP, the local IHOP in Marietta, and to tell them to drop all charges, and for them to call the DA and to ask the DA to drop all charges. We're also asking for people to call the headquarters in California and demand that they put pressure on the local IHOP and put pressure on the DA to drop all charges, and to make restitution to the family in terms of an apology and economic support, because Renardo has been in jail going on 2 weeks without work, without income, and his family has been trying to do the best they can without his income. And somebody is going to have to be liable for that.
Now, you're saying that he's in jail. I mean, from what I see on the video, basically for asking for a phone number. He's in jail, and I understand there's no bond has been post set, and they plan on keeping him there until April 22nd or something.
Well, his court date is April the 24th. And they have not given him a bond because of the charges that he has. They said they are felony charges, so they have not given him a bond. Again, trying to assassinate his character, basically.
And the only character that's really getting assassinated is that police department, because it's obvious when you see the video that the only terrorist there is the police. Yet he's still in jail. I think people should go and watch that video and talk about this. Go to the DA, and in that regard, how do people get the numbers for the DA and to watch the video and things like that? Is there a website or something folks can go to see that?
Yes, people can go to the Atlanta People's Power Assembly webpage. We have the video posted there. We have the information regarding who to call, the DA's office. In order to get information regarding the headquarters in California, I recommend that people contact your radio station, Struggle La Lucha Radio, to find out where they can make phone calls to the headquarters in California and how they can put pressure on them. But all the information regarding the local stuff is on the Atlanta People's Power Assembly webpage. Also, we're asking people, especially in the local area, if they're in the greater Atlanta area, we're trying to pack the courthouse on the 24th. So as many people that can get out there, if you're in the Atlanta area and the greater Atlanta area, please get out. That too will be posted on the People's Power Assembly webpage. And so we'll be posting there, what time we want people to be there. We want it to be a peaceful thing. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get arrested. Just show up, watch, and observe so that they know that we're present, that the community is watching, and that the community is demanding that, justice be served. And also, nationally, if people want to, for a National Day of Action, nationally, on the day of the court, people can do some actions around the country, in conjunction with, the actions that are going to be done at the courthouse that day. Those are some of the ways that people can help. There's going to be a petition that is going to be posted on the page as well. We want people to pass it on, sign the petition, pass it on. We want to get as many signatures as possible to get to the DA's office. So pass it. It doesn't matter if you don't live in Georgia. We want to let them know that the whole world is watching.
And we're also, if you're in the LA area, and it happens that the corporate office of IHOP is in Glendale, California, real close to LA. It's like 20 minutes away from me. And we're going to be having an action there next week. So people, if you want to get in touch with Struggle La Lucha Radio and find out about that. So I just wanted to finally just see if Lubreeze, if you had any more words on this.
Just again, reiterating what Liz said, if you could just call the district attorney. The number is 770-528-3080. And it's also the IHOP in Marietta, Georgia by the Big Chicken. Just to let them know how you guys feel. And if you could be there for my husband on the 24th, again, she will be reposting the time. Just to have the support, we really appreciate it, and I appreciate you for letting us do this interview today.
Thank you for being an inspiration. And if you are in the Atlanta area and you want to go by the IHOP by the Big Chicken, I'm sending a shout out to my brother who's in Atlanta, and I'm going to make sure he gets his butt over there as well. And so, Jerry, you hear me? You got to get over there. So thank you so much, Lubreeze and Liz, and especially Breeze and Renardo, your family, and thank you because I have a son who's black, and and I worry every day about what the police are going to do, and I know it's situations like this when people fight back that make us safer because it lets the police know that they just can't do anything and get away with it. And that helps protect my family too. So I really want to thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much.